Okay, so today what we're going to do is actually based around cauliflower, and it's some people like cauliflower, you either love it or you hate it, but this is going to make a sauce for our pasta for dinner this evening. Now for the kids I have done chicken. Actually, let me correct that. The 13-year-old, because if he hears me saying it will kill me, has cooked chicken breasts with bacon, red onion and garlic. So they're already here. This is the basis of their dinner, and we're going to do a kind of a pasta dish with that. It's going to be a creamy pasta dish. We're going to use cauliflower as the base sauce, so it secretly gets all the veg in them as well, even though they can hear me saying this, but they really enjoy this sauce. You can add whatever you like to it. It can be ricotta, you can add quark to it. So quark is that, it's kind of like a cottage cheese. It's quite sharp in flavour and it has lots of protein, very, very low fat content. So it is a perfect food to add as a kind of a boost. You can also add a drop of cream if you prefer, but there's lots of different options to allow you to increase the protein content without overdoing it on the energy intake in terms of really creamy, heavy sauces or anything like that. So we have this as our base. The pasta's on behind me. I'm going to show you how to make this. So very simply, I'm just going to chop the cauliflower and it's going to go in to steam over the pasta sauce. Or over the pasta, sorry. Now that just takes a few minutes to steam and it can get quite waterlogged, so you don't want to leave it on for too long. So it doesn't really matter if there's a bite in it or not, because we're going to be whizzing it with a hand blender anyway. And we're just going to add a few bits and pieces to it. So what I'm going to do in the pan here behind is I am going to fry up some onion. I'm going to add some garlic to it. I'm going to add onion powder and a little bit of hot paprika just to give it a little bit of bite. If you have a harissa seasoning or something like that, that also adds quite a nice sharpness to it. We're going to add a squeeze of lemon, some seasoning, and that is going to make the basis of our sauce. And then, as I said, you can add, whether you want to add cheese, you can add parmesan, which is what I'm going to add this evening because they love it. Okay, so if you are having this sauce as a vegetarian, one of the things I'm going to suggest you add to it is some nutritional yeast. So this is going to provide some vitamin B12, which can often be one of the things that vegetarians, or more specifically vegans, are deficient in their diet unless they're supplementing. So we're going to add some of this to the sauce, and it's no harm for an extra boost for the kids as well. I'm going to wait until the cauliflower is ready. That's going to go in here first. I broke my NutriBullet during the week, so we're going to use a hand blender. And I have also been soaking some cashew nuts. So you don't have to soak them for too long, maybe an hour just ahead of time, and it just softens them and allows them to spread a little bit better when we're making our mix. Now I also have here, as I said, some Parmesan cheese, but I have some of this as well, and that's just to go on top of our pasta. My kids love it. And I'm going to put in a spoon of Philadelphia as well, just to make it creamy. You don't really need it. It's just personal preference. I know that they love it that way, so we're going to add it. The last two things, as I told you, is the onion powder and my hot paprika. So we'll have a look at, just open these up, and then we'll have a look at our cauliflower. Okie doke. So, where's my Top Gun? Ah, yes. Okay, I'm all steamed up. Right, so I've got my cauliflower in here. Right now I've got some onions frying behind me, and I'm going to add my garlic to those as well. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can choose to liquidize this straight away just from being steamed. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add it into my fried onion and my fried garlic just to give it that little extra bit of flavour. And I think adding these things in to fry just gives them that kind of caramelized flavour that you don't get from steaming them straight. So I'm going to add this in now as well. So we'll come back to that in 1 second. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of my hot paprika. And I'm going to add a good half teaspoon of the onion powder as well. So that will fry up very, very quickly. My pasta is nearly ready, so I'm going to go and drain that while that's frying, and we'll go on from there. So if your pasta is ready before everything else is ready, just drizzle it with a little olive oil, sprinkle it with a bit of sea salt, and that'll just stop it. Well, it'll flavour it, the sea salt will flavour it, and the olive oil will stop it from all sticking together in one solid clump, as it's inclined to do. You can also rinse it with some boiled water from the kettle, and that'll just drain away any excess starch that's sitting in the bowl. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for a second. Now, if you are looking for something to thicken your sauces, don't throw away the water from your pasta. You can keep some of that and add it to the sauce if you wish. I'm not doing that this evening because I won't need it, but if you can keep it, if you're making bread, it's also really good, the extra starch in it to thicken. It just provides a really, really nice base for bread. So I only discovered that recently, actually. Okay, so we're going to turn that off, and I'm going to pop these in here. Okay, so what we're doing here now is we're taking our cashew nuts. I'm going to pop those in here. And there's about 2 heaped tablespoons of cashew nuts here. I've got half a cauliflower in the mix, and I'm going to add in that water as well. Now, as I said, I'm going to take a teaspoon of, nice heaped teaspoon, and I'm going to go back. And I guess you're using about a tablespoon of this Philadelphia, maybe 2. Depending again on what kind of texture you like, if you want it creamy or if you want to keep it lighter and just have your cauliflower. So then we're gonna a little bit of black pepper. Sure, I surely wouldn't be creating a recipe without a drop of tamari. And then a small squeeze of lemon. So this is about 1/3 of the lemon, and I'm not even going to put all that in. It's just to give it that little bit of sharpness, because the cauliflower is quite sweet when it's done like this. Okay. Now, so I'm going to turn off the sound so that you don't hear me whizzing away at this. This is our mix, and I'm kind of excited because I just tasted it. So just adding a tiny pinch of salt in there, and I'm going to mix it through again. So what we are going to do next is plate it. We'll make it look nice and fancy. So we're going to take some of our pasta, give it a twist, and make a little nest. Now, depending on who in your household will eat this, you can just add all the sauce into the pasta if you wish and just mix it through as one complete dish. I have to be careful here because one person will eat one thing and another person won't. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of this sauce to the middle. Now I'm going to sprinkle some Parmesan on, and then we're going to add don't forget our black pepper, and to completely create the final masterpiece, a little bit of Super Values cheddar cheese sprinkled on top. And of course that'll have to go into the microwave now for 2 minutes to melt the cheese on top. But we are left with a plate of pasta that is super, super delicious, but has no visible veg, has lots of hidden vegetables in there. The sauce is not a big, heavy dairy sauce. It's made from cauliflower, and you can use this with anything. You can use it as a bechamel on the top of a lasagna. You can use it as a dip for chips. You can use it for whatever you like. Add a teaspoon of pasta to it, or add a teaspoon of pesto to it to make a beautiful creamy pesto sauce. So that is the cashew and cauliflower pasta sauce. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do use it, be sure to tag me on social media at FionaO'Donnell.ie and send me a picture. Let me know what you use it with.